Good morning-ish. So this is a panel on AI, mainly AI safety, security, that kind of stuff. We are all involved with really great, in my opinion, AI projects. It's actually, this is the most excited I've been to be on a panel in a really, really long time. Everyone's a practitioner who actually cares. It's way less likely to be a marketing talk on theory and more likely to be like, how do we actually do something? So I'm really, really excited about that part. I'm pulling up my questions because I accidentally nuked them. So first question. Tell me and the audience about your project. Try to keep it to 30 seconds. And then the follow-up question is, what do you know within the AI and crypto and that space that other people don't know that you think is useful to a generalized audience? Actually, first question. Are you technical or heavily crypto token go up as a group? Technical? Marketing? BD? So very general audience. We'll try to not dive too deep into the nerd stuff. But what do you know in crypto, AI, yada yada, security, that other people don't know that is useful to a general audience? And please introduce yourself, your team, that stuff.
Hey guys, thanks Jay, by the way. This is Deli from Automata. We're actually building an on-chain attestation layer to verify a lot of compute, including AI. And how we do it is actually going through something called Trusted Execution Environment, or TEEs. This is a pretty powerful hardware that can essentially run the AI models or any sort of compute in a secure environment. And what we do is actually have a way to verify that those machines, those hardwares are really doing the work. Therefore, you don't have to trust, you don't have to verify, because there will be a smart contract on-chain verify things for you. And regarding that second question, like what are the things that I don't think everybody knows is, so nowadays actually your local devices, like your mobile phones or even your laptop, is actually quite powerful, that you can run some sort of like open models on it. And those models are pretty good actually. You could send articles to them to review, or you can even like give videos to them as well. Maybe it's not as fast as those like commercial models from OpenAI or Google, but it's really private because you're running everything locally. You have your device, nothing leaves it. In general, it's like more better setup. And in the future, the device is going to be more powerful, so you can have larger models, take care of all of the like aspects in your life.
All right, I'm Juan Bruce from SuperNet. And SuperNet is a new layer 1 that's optimized for AI context, specifically making the context portable so that when you arrive at new AI applications, it will immediately know more about you and be able to personalize to what you're trying to achieve. And we're doing that by building a chain that can store vectorized context data on you and be able to search it as well as index it and correlate to offline data. We have a really good upgrade path, so there isn't forking. And we're really looking to provide better context, which brings me to what most people don't know is a lot of you out there are probably actually confusing your AI and LLMs. AI works better when it has a very specific context and point of view. And so that's something we're trying to help people with.
I'm Tina Baker-Taylor. I am the co-founder of Venice AI, which is a consumer app. So you can open it on your phone right now. Just type in venice.ai and you can have immediate access to the platform. It operates similar to ChatGPT, so creates, you can have text conversations, conversations with characters like character AI. You can generate images. So all of the standard consumer-y things. It's materially different because it's completely private. So all of your conversations exist only on your browser. So similar to what my colleague was saying, yes, you can absolutely run open source models on your own browsers. If you use Venice, we're basically doing the same, but we give you access to much larger open source models than you would be able to run on your phone. So if you'd like multiple, I think today we have 10 different chat models and 6 different image models, then you get a lot of variety there. What I know that other people don't, I don't know that I know this, but it's a strong opinion. I've been in crypto for about 10 years, and I think we were always looking for what problem is crypto going to solve. I mean, I knew what problems crypto was going to solve, but for a while it looked like crypto was a solution looking for a problem. And since getting into AI and understanding how we'll be able to enable these agents to transact for us with smart contracts, it became really, really clear to me that agents are going to need crypto to be able to undertake all this activity for us. So,
I love this panel.
Yep. So I work at the EF on figuring out how we can use AI to distribute money to different projects. Since I think a few of you are involved in marketing here, you must be knowing how InfoFi is like the main meta of this bull cycle. Attention is all you need. And so let's figure out how we can allocate attention. So all of that is powered by AI. If you look at Kaito, it's all AI algorithms that decide it. And the one thing which is unique, which is the one thing which, to answer the second question, is AI is like the first non-deterministic computer program that we've developed. In all other computer programs, if you give an input, you'll get the same output every single time. But in AI, you actually get a different output even with the same question asked all the time. And that actually enables us to make it harder to game metrics, which is why in InfoFi, you've really seen it be powered by AI, like CookieDAO or Kaito or all of the other projects coming up. And my one kind of challenge to Bruce is like, does the world really need another L1?
Say that one more time.
Does the world require another L1? Don't we have enough L1s already?
I feel personally attacked. Anyway, I
The
forgot to
Ethereum
introduce
Foundation would say
myself,
that.
so I'm going to do that too. I'm Jay. I lead product at Near AI, which is another L1. Although we jokingly say, we're the best Ethereum roll-up because we do work across chain. Anyway, so we're working on free agent assistant hosting. We'll get to some of that, and I'll do it in context. But yeah, product at Near AI. Okay. So I promised you all spicy takes. So the first thing we're gonna do, spicy take number 1, is ZK versus TEE. Does anything suck here? What's better? What's wrong? Just fight? Anyone to fight?
I'll just say that we lump them together, but they're quite different. So TEE provides security that's not necessarily private. And it can be an important part of a private enclave or a private stack. But TEE on its own does not create privacy. And I could also kind of argue that neither does ZK, but
Yeah, so I'll say TEE is the solution for now. It works. Hopefully ZK will get better in the future, but it's just not performant enough.
I think I look at the common things that we're going towards, because either TE or ZK are actually relying on hardware features. Now your ZK circuit has really running on GPU to accelerate. TE as well, because all the special features like encryption, isolation is done via hardware circuits. So in a way that we're always going to rely on those hardware manufacturers, NVIDIA, Intel, to create new generation of hardware to speed up the performance or even to provide nice features.
can I just add one thing to that really quickly? So I think one of the other things that's materially different about Venice is we use only decentralized compute. So we have a number of compute providers, but within that then, we're moving GPUs around all the time. And one of the challenges that we have is if those compute providers, for example, don't have a TEE-enabled chip, then we wouldn't be able to use that. So other solutions, which again are actually worse and definitely not ready, like FHE, would provide the ability for us to provide the privacy on the software side as opposed to on the hardware side. But it's so fucking slow that that's not going to work either, right? So there's lots of potential options, and I think nothing's just production ready.
I think the other thing you have to keep in mind is the application, right? Nothing's ever absolute. And so what level of security do you need, and what trade-offs and sacrifices are you willing to make for that? Like, it's a really different situation if maybe, you're talking about your ad tech data versus making multi-million-dollar trades in a hedge fund, right? Very different issues.
So I think the one thing I'd quickly add is that cryptography is all about security and how we can make things secure, and AI is all about ingesting large amounts of data. So I think the way these two, they are almost like going in different directions. And the real question to ask is that in a world of AGI, are our private keys even really going to be private, or is the AI going to be able to figure out our private keys? So that's where the two worlds really intersect, that we need cryptography to become better so we can keep things secure and private, and we need AI to become better because it is going to become better whether we want it or not. And but we honestly need to progress crypto so that the world is safer with AI.
I also think, Jay, that optionality is the key here that we don't talk about enough. So to your point, there might be something that, what's the weather like today in Cannes? If you don't care that anybody might know that you're in Cannes, that doesn't need to be private, right? I mean, might not need to be. If you're using a smart agent for financial transactions, you want that to be private. If you're uploading an MRI report, you want that to stay private, right? So I think that users will then, if they fully understand what they're using, and today my big concern is that they absolutely do not understand that all of this information is attached to their identity forever. And then you can make a decision about what I actually need this level of privacy for and when I don't. And if I use the private version, I might be making trade-offs where it's slower, I don't know, whatever those other compromises might be.
Absolutely. So that leads to a really good next natural question, which is raise your hand if you think the first concern of a user is privacy at the moment.
To the audience.
This is a AI privacy and security panel. We have all checked. Okay, what can we do to fix that? Or do we need to?
I think education is important, and I think when people understand, so a great example is the Meta feed. So I don't know if you guys saw this in the news, but a couple weeks ago, basically, Meta opened up this feed, and people did not understand that all of their inference was going to be public in this feed, and so attached to their identity. And so we have this expectation, even if we think it's going to be public, that it's going to go away, right? It's just going to get lost in the feed. It's going to be tomorrow's news. And so when these things happen, and I always say, Venice has 1 million users plus, we're one data breach away from having 2 million or 5 million or 10 million in users. But unfortunately, it takes these things to happen for people to understand, oh shit, that's out there for all the world to see. So I also have this theory that basically social media has trained us all to be very laissez-faire with our location, with our payment information. And now we're able to triangulate all of this information. And you put this into an LLM, all of these separate sets of data. And now these machines know infinitely more about us than we know about us, right? And our behavioral patterns. So we say we want things to be private, but then we behave in a way that we don't. So I just think that people need to understand these systems more, and it's really on us to make sure that they do.
We got to keep it shorter, guys, because we got about...
Yeah, I think it's all about keeping it frictionless, like everything else in tech, right? I worked in Web 2 tech for a long time, worked on things like the iPod and Apple products and everything. If you want people to adopt things, it has to be frictionless and user-friendly. So it's our job, of everybody on stage, to make privacy frictionless.
I actually personally I care about the privacy in AI, but I know that a lot of like users might not. So I think not only just educations or have awareness on social media, it's more about also maybe regulations, right? If regulator can force those AI companies from collecting user data and training it without getting approval, I think that would be a better word for users because you don't have to worry if this model, if this company is harvesting your data.
So I would actually slightly push back that users don't care about privacy. It shapes the vibe of the product, privacy. Like I think look at Snapchat, right, where they made this anonymous posting and it actually took off. And like when you look at all the high school apps where you can anonymously write things, it really shapes the vibe of the experience. So I think privacy does matter, but it's just one part out of many parts in shaping the user experience.
Okay. One word answer, seriously this time. When security and the tech improves, for the people in the room for alpha, what is the first industry that goes down that's a good investment inside because AI is very private and secure? So like mine is definitely medicine.
Really?
When everything's private and secure. Well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't go down. It really improves in the United States, at least, because the vast majority of like the smart devices, everything will clear out the waiting rooms, hospitals. We know this is now an emergent situation. Get in there. Oh, the questions you need to ask your doctor. You could just ask a voice thing. Like the capacity in the medical system will dramatically increase, in my opinion, and because of that, people will live longer and not die, which is apparently a theme in some parts of crypto.
I think an interesting addition to that is actually maybe insurance. I think insurance might...
Insurance?
Insurance, yeah, because now you have a lot of data, maybe privately owned by you, but the company or any other entity or even government can start giving insurance.
Well, not as important as those two things, but I'm going to say e-commerce.
Law. Not litigation, but the practice of law.
The discovery process, too.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's actually ready now. Somebody should do that. Please, I'll fund it.
So I think it would be like capital allocation, and I'm gonna like share a story here. When I joined the EF, I tried to inquire about why we don't make our grants public, like the amounts that we give projects. And basically the answer was that by making it public, other projects will also try to ask for a similar amount, even if they don't need that much money. So that's why we are forced to keep it private. But in a world where everything was secure and well run and we had AI, basically being able to make capital allocation decisions with AI would actually be a lot more feasible because funders can share data and funding data and all of that.
100%. On that subject, and I will remind everyone we have 11 minutes and a zinger. So let's try to be a little quicker. And I know I wasted time saying that. So let's start the user journey and how things actually operate in the future as opinioned by the group of people here and all of our separate projects. So, how do projects get created using AI?
So I guess that's related to vibe coding, right? Like how people can just like have an idea and convert it into a mockable prototype in like a span of a few hours. And actually something I've heard is that this is something Base is very good at. That Base has amazing like documentation. So it's about your chain having such good documentation that anybody can just like give commands to a Replit or any other app and just it can go and create it by itself.
And funding.
Yeah, so like that's the project which I'm focused on how we can get AI to do funding. And I think broadly what we don't want is one AI to decide how much money you're going to get or how much you're worth. So what we are doing at the EF is a project called Deep Funding where anyone submits an AI model. So all of you, if any AI developers here, go to cryptopond.xyz and you'll find a challenge where you can build a model, give answers of how much money different open source repos should get, and then we choose the winning model from that. So that's hopefully what we kind of move towards, not one monolithic AI that we all pray to for its beneficence, but community submits many AIs and we have a way of selecting the best AI amongst them.
I love that almost everyone on this panel has something that sounds like it would have been featured in Westworld. Just especially that one season where they were in LA for some reason. Like, yeah, AI should totally determine your future. Okay, so the next step, I'm sorry, they're a great project. It's just every one of us you can twist. It's bad. Okay, so project gets funded, come up with that sort of deal. How do they actually execute?
Yeah, actually, we're building a lot of developer toolings. We're not owning any infrastructure. What we're trying to do is help those developers to have AI applications running on chain that can automatically verify those AI compute. In a sense that we're trying to facilitate the verifiable AI, so that you could just like focus on like shipping your applications instead of trying to link those things together and getting things verified. So therefore, we have a smart contract running on chain to take care of the verifications. We even have SDKs that can run it together with your applications to help you submit the proof on chain that therefore gets verified. I think these are really foundational things to kind of let developers know that there are like a lot of alternatives to create applications that tap into the on-chain economy.
I really love this. We at Near have a free agent hosting hub, and like the number one thing all of these agent developers really need is, frankly, I have a big background in communicating with developers. We won't get into that, but developers are some of the laziest people you will ever meet. You don't become a developer unless you are a lazy person that wants to automate most of your things, or just really nerdy about a thing, which explains the two personality types in developers. We won't get into the joke. But so absolutely, what's the biggest thing they picked up and used that didn't exist? And where's the problem?
Yeah. I think we've seen that actually. We recently worked with a agent company. They're actually starting like sending those verifications on chain, and within 1 month we've seen like 700K transactions going on chain that are just doing the verifications for the AI agent, which means that a lot of applications, a lot of agent developers really care about getting things verified. So this is something that never existed before, because AI models are running entirely off chain. So now things are connected.
Great. I am a huge fan of Venice. One of Near AI's core beliefs is that the reason crypto and AI work together is because crypto can make AI free or cheap for the 5.5 billion people that connected to the internet, and Venice is doing a great job trying to get there too. And what happens, and I got to get to you because I accidentally skipped you, but my brain did it. What happens for users that actually helps them secure themselves, and why is not censoring it important?
Yeah, so AI is obviously created with all of the data that we put into it as humanity over time. So there's always going to be bias within AI, but censorship is a completely different thing. That is when a board of directors or a committee decides what an acceptable question for you to ask is or is not, what's taboo and what's not. We don't determine that. So basically, you can use Venice to explore lots of different topics that you wouldn't be able to on many of the other mainstream platforms. I encourage you to try it. And I think that what sets Venice apart is that we're basically providing an infrastructure layer for the average normie user all the way up to developers that are creating agents. Because everybody needs access to the inference, and that's what we provide. And we do it in a number of different ways. You can buy a subscription on Stripe and pay every month. You can stake the Venice token and get inference for free. And if you're an autonomous agent, you don't have a credit card to attach to OpenAI. And more importantly, those developers are able to build privacy-first applications because the infrastructure that they're using is already private. So I think what we're trying to solve for is that entire swath of inference demand. Whether you're somebody looking to find out what the weather is or what the price of Bitcoin is, up to somebody creating an agent that's going to transact for you in a private way where you're not going to be denied. So our platform will say, I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
And that actually gives me a really great fork back because I skipped over you. Hold on, I got you. Both of us have an assistant team. Obviously, they have a bigger assistant team. Both of us have an assistant team, and we both know that AI assistants are going to need to call user data in context. You guys will see, if you track the AI industry, two big things. The anthropic ability with MCP. Yeah, I know, I forgot myself. The anthropic, I reminded you so you could remind me. Choke the mic if you're ever at a panel, everyone. Right here. No stop talking, you can't hear me. Digressing. Back to the original point. The assistants have the need to call data. Either the anthropic approach where they're using the MCP thing to go get external data, or the OpenAI approach where they're expanding this memory size and model, and you can tell both of these directions are trying to get you to be able to give as much of your world in, because the scope of what the model is able to, I'm oversimplifying it for the non-technical, the scope of what the AI is going to be able to look at is increasing over and over and over again. So as a part of that, we need to solve users' data concerns.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're doing at SuperNet, both for developers and for users. So as a developer of an AI application, when a new user lands, you know nothing about them, which means it's really hard to personalize and serve them. So we're building an SDK and a lot of infrastructure to securely store this user data and share it appropriately. And for a user, that means having a better experience. That means being able to have your personalized context about you, and even potentially divide that up between what's personal versus what's business, and share that when you choose with AI applications, or even with a lot of the internet that is now starting to be powered by AI. I mean, you're seeing e-commerce stores that merchandise differently because they're using AI in their site. That's exactly, the type of thing that we want to serve. So you land somewhere, you go on the internet, and immediately it's more appropriate for you if that's important to you and you choose to share that data.
Juan, but you said earlier that it was browser-based. So does that mean that it's portable, almost like in a tokenized format where I can use it here and then call it back and take it with me? Do I leave it behind?
So the answer is, we're building the chain to support the secure storage of your context and the access to it. You could build many different applications. One of the first illustrating applications that we're doing as a reference is a browser plugin. But you're not limited to that. I mean, we're also building an SDK so other developers that have existing sites or browser plugins or even wallets. So existing wallets could basically create a new category of digital asset that is your data.
That's cool.
It is. I love it. Okay, we have 1 minute and 41 seconds, so if we have time for one more spicy take after this, we're gonna do it, but spicy take number 1, and you should all pay attention because this one's gonna be fun and you're gonna wanna video it and tweet it. Okay, this is a panel of AI experts, right? Everyone reasonably has a very deep knowledge in AI. It's a panel of relatively crypto experts, right? Okay. Do any of you have a single reason AGI will choose Bitcoin? I'll get you later. Do any of you at all?
Why does the AGI have to choose?
Great question. We'll fork it. We got 53 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I'm going to say stables.
I think AGI gonna compete with Bitcoin in terms of computing powers.
I think they're going to start lobbying against Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
Because we need the power for something I don't know.
That's
helps
very possible.
People.
That's very possible.
Well, yeah, and by the way, somebody asked why another L1. We're actually doing proof of work for compute to do AI tasks.
Useful
which
work.
Which is useful work, not Bitcoin work. And
So you shouldn't throw away the power output of the Netherlands for something that doesn't help people, is what we're saying. Ethereum, you guys agree? I know this. I gave a talk several Ethembers ago on this, and you changed it.
I think AI will be very grateful to Bitcoin because of Bitcoin mining, so many GPUs and the entire industry has also progressed so much. So you know the meme about how AI will like target you if you didn't say thank you and sorry and all of that? Like this is a similar version where AI is thanking Bitcoin for its existence.
Optionality is the spice of life.
Okay. Great. You guys have been absolutely lovely. We are getting cold on time. Thank you all so much. I encourage you all to look at the Open Agents Alliance. It's crypto all coming together against the other thing to win the payment rail and other spaces within that. And we're running it and bringing everyone else in. So please join us. And thank you so very much. Everyone, please give them a round of a hand.
Thanks, Jay.
And thank you.